point of focus. Who do you listen to? Faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing the word. But whose word do you hear? Sometimes you have to have a meeting with yourself and say, this is where we go. This is the next move. And I want to tell you, things are not going to get back to the old normal. Things have changed. Okay? Then strategy number 3 for building resilience is what I'm doing helping or harming me. When you're in a crisis, ask yourself, is what I'm doing helping me or harming me? Is it helping my family or harming my family? Is it helping my business or harming my business? Now, all these 3 strategies help us to focus even higher. Believe in your ability to bounce back.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to look back at the wars and battles you fought to get yourself and know, now this one I can manage. Yes, it's a different one, but the rule remains the same. Win, win, win. So don't lose what you love to what you have lost. Yes, we have lost things. As a business, we have lost a lot. As a people, we've lost the physical interaction. But we should not look back at that. Let's look back at far, okay? Joy comes in the morning. I want to give a testimony. Before this thing, I didn't have the South African market. But I want to tell you, because we use the website, we use the social media to push more. Such that actually, and I want to tell people, the next big business is green business, green enterprises. Because now the world is thinking. His Excellency Al Gore was talking about climate change and how it is going to affect almost everything. Now, let's start thinking in that line. That is where the world is going, I want to inform people that there is no crisis except a lack of creativity. Sometimes this has come to me. When the crisis hits, it ignites us to think, be creative, be more innovative. You see, women know this better. She will be there without money. Or she will say there is no money. But my friend, when a crisis hits, and the major crisis hits her child, anything that hits the child is a crisis. You don't know where she will find the medication. When we are in a crisis, let's see, how do I push this, save more? How do I invest? How do I put this product on the market? How do I scale up? Okay? And guess what, Tilda? Those who are more productive will never be poor, even in a time of crisis. People moved. Those who are making clothes, now they are into masks. Move. Be creative. Be creative. Whenever you are creative, whenever you are creative, you will be more resilient. You will business. Let's not be static. Every business person, reading a book called Inspired by, however, they have power. What do I mean? Is the guy who will have a farm that produces Zintula, is the guy who will have this, is the guy who will have the other. They are trying to diversify. So let's think diversification. Yes, most people know me for honey, but guess what? I'm a wonderful photographer, and I do it as a hobby.
Yeah.
As I conclude, I said I'm a pastor. When you read the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26,
yes.
Okay? The Bible is a business book. Chapter 1, verse 26, it says, let us create man in our own image that will have dominion. Now, the word dominion means to control, manage, okay, take over. But in verse 28, it gives a clearer explanation. It says, the command, be fruitful, okay, multiply, replenish, and subdue. Now, fruitfulness, it's not about children, in my view. Because if fruitfulness was about producing children, Abraham would have been a great failure.
Yes.
But it's about production. Find something you produce, something you put on the market. Don't care, don't matter. One of the people that I really look up to, Tilda, you know this lady, Caroline. The lady attended and you're like, wow, but it earns her money. When I'm selling honey, I've sold honey in the bar. Guys are supposed to be drinking waraji, I'm selling to them honey. So fruitfulness is about production. Find something you produce and then multiply, means reproduce what you've produced. Most people here, they know CJ, Cafe Javas. The guy put one Cafe Java and then he started multiplying them. So if we can find a way to multiply ourselves, what we do, if I've been producing, the next I produce 10, okay? And then replenish the original word in the Hebrew. The original Hebrew word for replenish means distribution, market. Okay? Now we have to go vigorous, intentional, without shame. Okay? When these big companies like Coca-Cola, when they are advertising, they show you one bottle like this. And it's one bottle they are marketing. And they want you to buy that one bottle.
Yes.
So distribute, multiply, distribute that which you have. However, and never fear to talk about your product. Go the extra mile. But the thing is, say, you think people haven't been eating from Cafe Javas during the COVID lockdown? They have. But they haven't stopped advertising. Why should we stop just because of a crisis?
Yeah.
We should not stop. Instead, during a crisis, that is when we should do more. Because when you are in a fight, okay, the more punches you throw, the more you weaken the enemy.
Yeah.
But if you say, I'm going to stay and no. Stay. I mean, I'm going to wait. My friend, let's not give COVID, it's a weak virus. It can go through you without you knowing. Something that weak that can be killed by soap and water should only give us the impetus to go higher in thinking, in doing things. Be intentional. Okay? Then subdue. To subdue is conquer. Okay? Is to conquer, is to colonize, to take control of. As I finish, okay?
Yes, Brian.
I talked about production, fruitfulness. Do you realize that when the Bible talks, they are talking about fruitfulness and production in line with poverty? Poverty doesn't mean lack of. Poverty means unproductivity. There is no person who is productive anywhere in the world and they are poor. So as long as you have something you put, worry, people will offer you money in exchange for what you do.
Yes.
You know, so resilience, let's learn to stay longer. And as we stay longer, we don't just sit, but fight back. Yes, sometimes we feel we've failed. And yes, we fail, but resilient people don't fear failure. Actually, they fail forward, like John Maxwell says.
Yes.
And I would encourage people to
look
for that book. It's called John Maxwell.
Yes.
I mean, it's called Failing Forward by John Maxwell. The world is full of imperfect people that are making it look perfect.
Yeah.
So let's not wait for perfection. Things they begin actually by the time you see things beaten, you don't have a chance to make an impact there. So where things are bad, where things are bad, it is our role as business people, as business-minded people, as people who are money-wise, to go in and make them perfect by our imperfection. Let's agree that we are supposed to fail. And when we fail, we shouldn't beat ourselves. Okay? This morning I was talking to one of my friends, and I told her, do you know the first time I went to register a company, lawyer yanziba karamba. But guess what? I went back, sat down, Google, did all the study. In 1 month, I had a company document, set up everything, set up and the company registered. I only went to a lawyer to stamp. Now today, under Kadosh Media, I help people with that work. That is another stream of income. So sometimes failures teach us good things. Okay.
Okay, Brian. Yes, Brian. Now let's get our closing. At least 3 points that you want people to take back at the end of our discussion today. At least now we have seen that we have to persist.
Yes.
And have resilience throughout this thrive. So at least 3. Yes, Brian.
One.
3 points.
Allow themselves to be vulnerable and allow feedback to come to them. Believe that you can manage. Number 3, okay, think long time. Be flexible, but think long time. By now, someone should sit in 2020 and plan for 2030. At least have a vague picture of what you want to be.
Yes.
There you will have staying power. Finally, let's think green. That's where the world is going. That's where the world is going.
Yes.
This COVID will end because soon we shall all be immunized. But the climate is changing.
Yes,
and it is not
pray
going
they
back.
get a cure.
That cure will come. That cure will come.
Yes.
That cure will come. I tell you. Just as we have a vaccine for polio, just as we have ever. This has killed people a long time ago. But today, someone that is suffering from polio or tianokutia. So COVID is within our ability to control. But the climate, so let's think green and green jobs, green enterprises. That's where the world is going. And diversification. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Wow. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much, Brian. And this actually brings to light, I like the aspect of going green, that much as we are out there to survive, to make money, to earn a living, we still need to preserve our environment, because we do not plan, we are thinking long term, not so. So we have to preserve this environment and persist in everything that we are doing with a lot of resilience, like it has been expounded on today. So as we wind up on our discussion today, just have a few reminders for us to have this discussion at the back of our minds, that for the aspects to do with basically planning for our businesses, what should we expect as Be Money Wiser followers? What should we expect as Be Money Wiser members? We think and we hope that the people will be ready to have resilience. This is a brief summary of the definition, all the challenges that they have faced, all the, stress that you may face anywhere in life. We need to bounce back. I like the word bounce back. And I'm so glad, Brian, you have been referring to this throughout our discussion. Now, again, still on resilience, for people to understand that what need to stick to it with a lot of integrity and face any challenges that may come up in life. Now, as we close, we also wanted to emphasize that with Be Money Wiser, we have persisted with the piggy banks, and I like the mode of going green, because when these are full and people put them back, we can recycle. We can recycle these and make sure we do not spoil our environment. We want it long term. And even as we are planning for our finances, we are thinking about them long term. So at the end of it all, I encourage us to continue being Money Wiser. These are some of the organizations that have supported Be Money Wiser, and I'm hoping we can get the My Honey logo to join the group so that we carry on empowering more and more people with the best services out there and better opportunities for more and more people, not just in Uganda, but also beyond. So for those that need to contact Be Money Wiser, this is our contact information. They can always get back to us in case they have any inquiry on anything to do with being Money Wiser. So Brian, thank you so much for joining us today. And I think that basically wraps up our discussion for today. We hope that you'll be available the next time we invite you, because we really enjoy the wisdom that you share with us, and we hope more and more Ugandans can be enriched from it. So Brian, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Have a blessed week. And thank you so much for the discussion today. So
thank you too.
That's generally it for today. And let's be Money Wiser. Yes.
Thank you.